folks, welcome to our second video. This is where we'll start with a song called Hot Lips from 1922. Specifically, this song was recorded by Mr. Paul Whiteman from June 23rd, 1922. This is where I would like to start. Now, there are a whole lot of other good songs way before this, and there are a lot of songs after this that I would say we could start from, but this would give us an idea for how pop music has evolved over the course of about 100 years, over 100 years now. So let me give you a little bit of a taste as to what this sounded like, and then I'll play a little bit of what we could do on the drums. Now, because the recording is so fuzzy, it's kind of hard to hear what the drums are doing, but you will hear some cymbals. It's kind of interesting how the cymbals were placed as accent cymbals, primarily. They weren't exactly called, I think, crash cymbals at that time, but the cymbals provide a little bit of splash, a little bit of a period, exclamation point, or whatever it is, to the beat, to the song that we were talking about in the first video. And then I'll show you what the beat would kind of be like. What we could do, we'll reconstruct using some historical knowledge of what's going on here. But again, this is Paul Whiteman from 1922 with Hot Lips, an instrumental. You hear that? Maybe like a small cymbal, right around here. So I'll just stop it right there. That is kind of cool, I mean, it sounds something like you'd hear at an old-fashioned carnival, but the thing is, it is strangely familiar. You know what I mean? It's strangely recognizable as part of our culture here in America. What this is literally laying down in part. It's not all about jazz, but it's laying down in part where we've come from, where we are now. And so this is, for me, really exciting to share with you. I just love listening to this kind of music from at least 100 years ago. It doesn't have to be that old. I love a lot of the music from the 50s, from the 60s, and even I'm getting more and more accustomed to the psychedelic rock of the 60s and the hard classic rock of the 70s, but I'm working on it. I'm more of like a traditional 50s doo-wop guy, or 40s big band swing. But this is where we would start. Now, what was the drummer doing? Well, he would be playing a couple of accent cymbals, like I was saying, right around here, because actually they had, some of the old drum sets had the weird music stands, or cymbal stands. They would be coming over like a little bit of in a dip, right? In a dip shape, and it would be hovering over the drum set right around here or over here. So cymbal stands were kind of like not standard, I think, until about the 1930s or 40s, where people, I think, began to make this more of a standard look. I mean, the gear wasn't this fancy at all, nowhere near this fancy, but straight up cymbal stands, think of like Buddy Rich, Buddy Rich for decades used to use cymbal stands that would just be like straight up and have the cymbals right on top, just nice and flat, nice and straight, simple hardware. But this isn't just about drums. Sorry, I'm geeking out a little bit. So the drums primarily were played with the bass drum here. The snare drum actually tilted up because a lot of drummers would play with the traditional grip, which lends itself better. If you're playing traditional grip, you want the snare up like you would when you're marching, right? In marching band. And the toms up here, the cymbals there. The hi-hats, some of them were weird, man. You got to look at some of these old pictures. The hi-hat cymbals would be way up here. I don't know what it was, but some drummers like to play it that way. So this is kind of like an old-fashioned beat. All right, we're finally getting down to what we want to talk about here. This is an old-fashioned beat where the bass drum could be thumping. Feathering is what we would rather call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. He just kind of keeps the beat like that. And the snare drum, you kind of do like a little bit of a snare drum roll. And you just very mellow like, play a little bit of a snare drum roll to give some momentum, some like nice movement to the beat. So you're not doing a whole lot. So this is what it would sound like. So you just have a nice simple drummer doing a simple drum beat. I got a little ahead of myself, and I was starting to play hi-hats on 2 and 4 with my left foot, and that was also kind of common. So that's as simple as it gets. We just go. We go from there. So I want us to just maybe take a listen to that if you want to. That again, I'm getting into teacher mode here. This is not a lesson, but if you want to, go ahead and take a listen to this. I'll attach this in the video as well, in the video description. So I'll give it as a link, and you can check it out if you want it in its entirety. But this is where we want to start. And so from here, where do we go? Well, we're going to go to the 30s and see what happens there. But until next time, God bless and take care.